I hope you know that I was sincere when I apologized for...
Oh, implying that I'm not qualified enough to run Demira because I'm autistic.
Thank you again for covering for me. If Sarah found out I was the one who assaulted you, she'd never want anything to do with me again.
You don't need to keep thanking me. It's over. Moving on.
Yeah, but I just feel so guilty, though.
Sarah mentioned that you were asking her about my health.
I'm sorry I went behind your back when I heard about what happened during the blackout.
Or his business acumen.
Well, then, what is the issue?
So Victoria's not being shuttled back and forth.
Are you asking me to move back into the house?
Today's episode of Days of Our Lives is packed with shocking twists, emotional confrontations, and corporate chaos. Theo returns to Salem determined to restore peace between the Demiras and Kyriakises, but his noble intentions might backfire. Gabi and Philip's secret rendezvous could lead to major fallout at Titan, while Xander finds himself at the center of yet another storm. Meanwhile, Abe and Paulina's marriage takes a sharp turn when Abe suspends her for betraying his trust. And as Belle celebrates her first birthday since John's passing, EJ arrives with flowers and an agenda, reopening wounds that may never heal. Hey Days of Our Lives fans, Gabi plays a risky game while Theo starts his first business moves. Theo pays Xander and EJ a visit today on Days of Our Lives. Gabi and Philip begin a new project, and Abe suspends Paulina. On Belle's birthday, EJ arrives at her house carrying a bouquet of flowers. She is not content. EJ persuades her to allow him entry, practically rather than figuratively, before she can shut the door on his face. Following it's her first birthday following John's passing, he wanted to make her feel happy and encourage her to sue Sophia Choi. Belle claims that Johnny has mental health problems, but EJ begins to rage about what she'd done to him. She goes on to explain how EJ is the cause of the upheaval in the lives of Johnny, Tate, Sophia, and Chanel. She will handle Sophia any way she deems fit. I sincerely appreciate the flowers. They're stunning. Farewell. Can the Demira/Kyriakis feud be resolved by Theo? In order to catch their breath, Gabi and Philip wrap up their role in the hay. When Philip discovers Xander's missed calls, he is blown away and tells Gabi it was so worth it. From the office, Xander attempts to reach his brother once more and demands to know his location. Then Xander's door is knocked on by Theo. They all continue to collaborate until the merger is reversed, and he merely wants to assist. Until Theo makes it clear that he wants their families to be civil moving forward, Xander is not impressed. The Titan CEO is just shocked by that. Demira Enterprises is run by a decent person. Well, we'll see how long that lasts. Xander listens closely when Theo mentions that Gabi was unhappy that he was appointed CEO, just as she and Philip enter the office. Xander's worries are allayed by Gabi, who yanks Theo away after expressing astonishment and disappointment that Tony failed to warn her. Naturally, Xander is curious as to why she was with Philip. Philip shrugs when he says that they are drawn to one another and are seeing where things go by jumping into bed, but he omits that detail. Then, Xander returns the focus to himself and his fear that he may eventually confess to Sarah that he beat Philip, who then orders him to keep his trap closed. In any case, Xander heads to lunch with Sarah. Can Theo and Gabi cooperate? Theo is pulled away by Gabi for a private discussion in front of the pub. Theo discovers that she installed the bug in Xander's office after she tells him to keep quiet about Tony betraying her. This won't help her pursue a relationship with Philip. Theo, being the good guy he is, accepts her apology and swears to keep her secret when she apologizes once more for questioning his qualifications. Is Abe going to pardon Paulina? Abe and Paulina had dinner together in the square, but he's still upset about what she told Theo. Paulina laughs at the notion and just labels this a difference of opinion, but he insists that she abused his confidence. Theo simply asked her for permission because he desired this job. Abe responds that he is unsure if his son can manage the pressure of being CEO, and that Theo was exposed after Claire. Is this ableism or protective behavior? Abe, the DeMoras are far worse. They are a family that eats its own. That's quite graphic. Paulina continues to defend Theo, but Abe snarls that Theo isn't his issue. It's her. Paulina tries to calm his wrath by claiming that she did what she believed to be proper, but Abe yells that she is mistaken and walks away after she gave his kid advice that I never would. All right, but what exactly is wrong with Marlena? Sarah learns from Marlena's examination of Sophia that she requires inpatient therapy after experiencing a total psychiatric breakdown, implying a dedication to Bayview. After Belle told the doctor what had transpired, Marlena will make the preparations and dismisses Sarah's worries about her own health. After stating that these are all signs of grief, Marlena walks away. Marlena shows Belle some fresh flowers when she gets home, but then she sees EJ's bouquet. When Sophia is brought up, Marlena just informs her daughter that it can take some time for Sophia to respond. Marlena mentions Belle chatting to Sarah about her in passing as they are eating ice cream. Belle becomes agitated as she urges her mother that she must be all right and remain for a very long time. Since Marlena says she won't be leaving, how about skipping work and seeing another Jason Bourne film? You see what they did there? Jason Bourne served as John's model. From the books, not the films or television series. In the last scenes of the show, Sarah visits Sanders and requests that he return to the house, this time in a guest room. She's going to have serious regrets about that. After resolving their differences with Theo, Gabi returns to Philip, where they arrange supper and resume their workplace kissing. When Theo goes to the estate in search of Tony, he discovers EJ as they play chess. EJ informs his nephew that he's always available to DeMera for assistance, but he doesn't want the business for himself because he trusts Theo with it. When their chess game comes to a standstill, what precisely are they dancing about? Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, October 22nd. Leo busted, Thomas needs assistance, Mark Green return drama. According to Days spoilers for Wednesday, October 22nd, there will be turmoil surrounding Mark Green's return. While Thomas DeMera needs assistance and goes to Jeremy Horton, Leo Stark will also be busted. EJ DeMera and Chad DeMera will first talk about family matters on Wednesday's DOL episode. Given that Thomas lost it over the entire Cat Green scenario, Chad is definitely dealing with a lot of them at the moment. EJ will apologize and acknowledge that Chad is in a difficult situation. It will be good to see the brothers getting along since Chad and EJ will connect for a moment while discussing all of this. Over with Jeremy, he will support Thomas and offer some wise counsel. According to previews for Days, Thomas will talk to Kat about his problems, but Jeremy might try to help him see that forgiveness and acceptance are possible. Thomas's breakdown caused Chad to break up with Kat, but Jeremy might think he can help the child see things differently. He will share scenes with Mark Green once he returns to EJ. Could EJ have something dodgy for Mark to undertake in connection with his impending hush-hush experiments? Mark recently received his parole and might need a job. Will Mark jeopardize his liberty to execute any enigmatic directives that EJ may issue next? In any case, Mark will need to acclimate to Salem life once more and may encounter some challenges. According to previews for other days, Leo will be caught snooping. Rita Leslie will likely catch Leo in the act and report back to EJ when he sniffs around in an area he shouldn't be. They'll talk about their plan to reveal Stephanie as Anastasia Sands over with Stephanie Johnson and Alex Kyriakis. In the town square, Alex and Stephanie will eventually run across Jeremy, according to Days spoilers, and Alex will accuse him of being the one who told Leo the truth behind the pseudonym. Stephanie will make an effort to settle the argument, but Jeremy will be perplexed by this information and ought to claim his innocence. Days of Our Lives spoilers indicate that since EJ, not Jeremy, was the one who revealed to Leo, his actions may someday come back to haunt him. EJ deals with Fury and Gabi's dangerous deal. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the second week of October 20th to 31st, 2025, predict that Gabi Hernandez will strike a wicked deal and that EJ DiMera will be chewed out. Notably, the final 2 days of these 2 weeks, October 30th and October 31st, are also the first 2 days of the November sweeps. As we get into some really crazy stuff in sweeps, expect a significant buildup over the course of these 2 weeks. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives. Sophia deals with the music. Okay, so on Monday, October 20th, Steve Johnson and Brady Black are searching for Sophia Choi. When they locate her, they march her into the pub where she will be up against Chanel Dupree, Johnny DiMera, Holly Jonas, and Tate Black. Leo Stark, Javi Hernandez, Infant Tesoro, and her mother, Amy, are all included. Sophia simply falls as everyone questions her at once and demands the truth. Leo and Javi are quite concerned about Tesoro. Therefore, whatever documents Tate signed or consented to be adopted are nullified due to the change in paternity. However, the biological father should have some input or at least a brief window of time to determine whether or not he wishes to keep the child. That's probably Aaron Green, of course. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives. Sarah attacks EJ. When Sarah Horton confronts EJ, it can be about the hospital's chaos, the blackout, or other issues. Gabi and Philip Kyriakis take pleasure in their developing bond. Will Philip overlook it, though, if he is aware that Gabi installed the bug for Tony DiMera in their corporate offices? I mean, most likely. Gabi is very beautiful. She's attractive. She's in his bed. To be honest, Philip has performed far worse than that. DiMera's corporate power plays and EJ's motives are under investigation. EJ is attempting to win Belle Black over on Tuesday, October 21st, but I'm just curious as to why he feels the need to do so. Is it an attempt to shield the city from culpability or prosecution for that blackout? It appears to be a private talk when he visits her at Marlena Evans. I'm eager to find out what he wants because she won't take him back. Sarah and Marlena check in. She might be discussing her health issues with her, or she might be discussing with Marlena how she and Xander Cook are doing following their initial couples therapy. After her recent fall, Sophia's mental health problems might also surface. Abe Carver and Paulina Price are arguing. She finds it incomprehensible that he won't let Theo, a fully mature man, decide for himself whether to accept Tony's offer to be CEO of DiMera Enterprises. This week, there will be additional scenes featuring Tony. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives. Xander questions Philip. After reaching a consensus with Theo, Gabi may choose to continue operating her business under the DiMera name, despite Tony having fully ceded it to her. She may choose to remain independent while continuing to function under their supervision. She will still have a sizable business machine to support her, and she and Philip will be able to continue dating. I wonder if Xander is questioning Philip about his interest in Gabi, because he has some questions for him. The fact that Gabi put the bug in their workplace is currently unknown to both Philip and Xander. Only Gabi and Tony are aware. I'm eager to find out if Tony betrays her. I doubt he would if it were Tony. However, if Andre DiMera is posing as Tony, he might do it merely to cause chaos. Struggles in the DiMera family and Stephanie's hidden identity. Wednesday, the 22nd of October. We have Chad DiMera and EJ discussing the challenges the DiMeras have had over the past few years and the challenges they face as a family. They have endured a great deal of hardship. Some of it was their fault, and some wasn't. Thomas, DiMera, and Jeremy Horton get in touch. Thomas has been missing school, but keep in mind that's his teacher. Assignments have been brought home by Jeremy after Kate Roberts posed as his mother on Days of Our Lives. I do wonder if Thomas will confide in Jeremy about how much he hates her and the fact that Chad was with her. Rita catches Leo wandering around the hospital's building site. Plans are being made by Stephanie Johnson and Alex Kyriakis, maybe for her big reveal as novelist Anastasia Sands. The diagnosis of Sophia and the resurfacing memories of Rachel. October 23rd, Thursday, Sarah has some difficult-to-hear facts for Amy regarding Sophia. Sarah might be verifying the results of the most recent paternity test. I do wonder if Sarah will explain Sophia's breakdown to Amy. And whether it's mental is the question. Is it bodily? Will she suggest that she get inpatient treatment at Bayview? On Thursday, Brady is offering Tate his condolences. Despite all the drama and the stress, they could experience a sense of loss upon learning that Sophia's baby was never a member of their family. It's significant to move from believing there is a baby to not. On Thursday, Maggie Horton Kyriakis will question Xander. She is pressuring him regarding Philip. Marlena is concerned because Rachel Black's memories are triggered, and it appears that she is beginning to regain some recollection. In addition, Holly and Ariana Horton must deal with the consequences of the unintentional dorm fire from the college authorities. A startling disclosure follows a town square conflict. Alex and Stephanie are attempting to cope with the past on Friday, October 24th. In Horton Town Square, Alex and Jeremy fall into a heated argument. It is just untrue that Stephanie and Alex believe Jeremy informed Leo that she wrote "One Stormy Night." Stephanie tells her boyfriend it's not worth it when Alex becomes violent with Jeremy, but things are going to get sticky, since I believe Jeremy may be greatly irritated by their presumptions. Amy is approached by Javi and Leo, who allow her to hold her grandson to Zorro. Sarah requests the truth about Philip from Xander. You know what? He finally gives in and admits to her that he was the one who beat Philip. Sarah removes her wedding ring and throws him out of the house. They're done, she says. Johnny and Chanel discuss their anxieties. We'll check to see whether they can still adopt. Spoilers for November sweeps. A startling comeback and Halloween horror. We have Sophia possibly going to Bayview for the week of October 27th through October 31st, which again includes the first few days of sweeps. She obviously needs assistance, yet she was attempting to flee the town. Dr. Mark Green is scheduled to return to Salem shortly, and Chad might have an awkward encounter with him soon. Despite their separation, Kate and Chad will continue to cross paths. Thomas might be heading out of Salem shortly. Carrie Christopher left for a new project a few months ago. Additional criticism stemming from Rachel's recollections of the evening she shot EJ. Just as her murder mystery is making its premiere, Alex and Stephanie decide to reveal some major information about her as Anastasia. On Halloween, Kate and Chad will be the target of an attempted attack. A knife-wielding lunatic is on the loose in Horton Town Square, so Alex warns them and shoves them aside. But I have a suspicion that this is a part of the Halloween episode, which is often a one-time event that doesn't fit into any plot lines. In addition, Days of Our Lives took home a major Emmy for Best Actor, which went to Paul Telfer for his portrayal of Xander Kyriakis. Paul deserves congratulations. Anna Lynn McCord attributes her reset to Day's assistance. As part of a full-circle event that extends beyond acting, Anna Lynn McCord explains her Emmy nomination. Lately, Days of Our Lives has been anything but easy. Despite how much they care for one another, Chad ended his relationship with Kat after suffering with the pressures of his family. As she delves deeper into EJ's gleaming new free clinic section of the hospital, Kat is creating her own storm, which is turning out to be far more complex than the press releases indicate. Annalyn McCord is also considering how entering this world has suddenly changed something inside of her as the drama intensifies on TV. A fresh start both on and off screen. As McCord prepared for the daytime Emmys, Access Hollywood caught up with her. She talked candidly about how playing Kat arrived at the ideal moment in her life. Being on the cast, she explained, allowed her to reset both personally and professionally. For her, it's more than just an acting gig. It's a full circle moment. She remarked, "I feel like I've had a reset, and I'm emerging, so I really felt like the category is really special to me." Her approach to her character and her appearance in the world both exhibit this sense of emergence. The actress acknowledged that it was still a pinch-me moment when she received her first Daytime Emmy nomination. However, she accepted everything with grace, believing that although the attention is wonderful, she is genuinely content with this new phase of her life. It's a celebration of personal development more than just her acting. Goddess vibes, gratitude, and glam. McCord maintained a cheerful and contagious demeanor while her glamorous staff prepared her for Emmy night. She explained that she wanted to keep things simple and fresh, experimenting with a subtle shadow line that adds just the right amount of pop to her lips. She chuckled that she isn't a fashion designer, but she nevertheless swooned over her vintage Tom Ford gown with flowing Grecian fabric behind her, which was inspired by Hollywood. She said, "It is gorgeous, I promise, and you'll understand when you see me later on the red carpet." She also displayed her glittering accessories and vintage costume jewelry that she had personally chosen from nearby stores. She was preparing to have fun, like a child at Christmas. The work was still the focal point of her evening despite all the fun and fashion. McCord burst out laughing as she recalled one of her favorite lines from her day's run. "I'm just so sorry that I'm pretending to be your dead wife, but I really do love you." She said that was the epitome of why she loved playing this part. She smiled and teased, "That's why I deserve this Emmy." Spoilers for October 22nd of Days of Our Lives. EJ and Chad bond. Leo gets captured by someone he can't win over. Alex and Stephanie have a strategy. According to Wednesday, October 22nd spoilers, Leo has another of his clever ideas, which again goes awry, while EJ and Chad compare notes on the chaos that is their life. Sarah just shouted at EJ for not paying medical personnel enough so that Sarah could receive her blood results on time. Has she thought about the possibility that the backlog could potentially be caused by her requesting favors to perform hurried DNA tests for friends like Brady? Obviously not. She's a Horton. Hortons never makes a mistake. However, DeMaras are invariably malevolent. Chad hears EJ groan about how unpopular their family is. Chad can see why EJ is disliked. But why is he receiving criticism? Among the good ones is him. He only dated the woman posing as his deceased wife. How sensitive Abigail's parents are. Thomas's reliable adult. It's not just Jack and Jennifer that oppose Chad dating Kat. Thomas essentially issued an ultimatum to his father. He's not happy. Thomas then turns to Jeremy, his new instructor. Jeremy connects with Thomas in a manner that his father was unable to. However, would you really want a man with Jeremy's criminal history to have an impact on impressionable children? Leo's nosy no-no. Leo considers himself an adventurous journalist. He is committed to demonstrating that EJ caused the historic Salem blackout. And if EJ declines to provide his own confirmation, why not? Then Leo will have to do it the hard way, which is to really come up with concrete, genuine evidence that would make it so much easier. Leo then digs, then encounters Rita. There simply aren't enough witty remarks to get him out of this one. Book club. Stephanie penned a seductive novel. It was released by Alex. It was a good seller. In order to prevent EJ from revealing the truth first, Stephanie is now prepared to reveal to the world that she is Anastasia Sands. They're going to do that. Then, this is their plot. Yes. As his time in Salem comes to an end, Carrie Christopher confirms his departure. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Carrie Christopher, who portrays Thomas D. Mera on the show, just announced his departure from the Peacock serial opera. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives. Christopher played the part of Thomas D. Mera, Chad D. Mera's little son. Christopher played the role of Chad D. Mera's young son, who lately lost his temper and insisted that Chad end his relationship with Kat Green. Kat posed as Abigail Devereaux D. Mera, Thomas's late wife and mother. After a while, Chad forgiven Kat, and they began dating. Rachel Black was upset because Thomas was outplaying her in a Monopoly game, so she blabbed Thomas the info. Christopher gave his explanation for quitting the show in a Facebook post, saying, "Yes, it's accurate. I signed a position as a series regular for a new program that will debut on Amazon Prime in 2026. So I departed Days of Our Lives a few months ago." During his time working on the show, Christopher shared a few pictures. After reflecting on his experience, he said, "Working on Days of Our Lives was such a dream set." Spoilers for Days of Our Lives. Christopher has been a cast member since he was 4 years old. "I started on this beloved soap when I was just 4 years old," he exclaimed. "How fortunate am I to have lived there for over 6 years?" After having to make a really tough decision, Christopher decided to advance in his career, push himself as an actor, and look for new chances. He will shortly be working on various projects. In 2026, he will appear in a live-action Spider Noir series. In addition, he will play a significant part in a future DC Universe series. The child is a talented and successful actor. You could have seen him in other parts, like that of a little boy named Gavin Reed who saw a murder on the primetime series High Potential, which starred Katie Lynn Olsen during the 2024 Super Bowl. He also made an appearance in a Pringles commercial. In the horror movie Weapons, he made his cinematic debut as Alex Lilly, the sole surviving student. HBO Max will shortly begin streaming the film. Christopher will also appear as a guest star on Chicago Med in 2 weeks. Christopher departed DOOL to work on other projects, as you can obviously imagine. You don't see talent like his every day. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives. The young actor expressed nothing but love and gratitude for his on-screen father, Billy Flynn. Billy Flynn, who plays Chad D. Mera in the film DOOL, received nothing but positive remarks and admiration from Christopher. "I will always have many memories of Billy Flynn and my time on Days. I got to share a nice goodbye," he said in an emotional note for Flynn. "Billy, you were a child's ideal TV father. Working with you and learning from you was always so much fun." The young actor thanked his DOL supporters, saying, "And thank you, Days fans. We still expect to see Thomas in the soap opera for some time to come, and you are all the greatest. There is currently no information on whether a casting will occur. Maybe Thomas will follow through on his pledge to move to Boston with Jack and Jennifer Horton Devereaux from Salem. Last week, Thomas warned his father that he would leave town if Kat didn't. He seems delighted to accompany Jack and Jennifer. Where Thomas's tale goes from here will be intriguing to see. Christopher will next appear on DOOL on October 22nd and October 31st. There is currently no known date for his final air date. We hope Carrie Christopher has the finest possible start to his exciting new job. Leo meets Rita. Will EJ hire Mark? Will Leo discover EJ's covert scheme? Photos for the October 22nd, 2025 show hint at sly spying and thoughtful meetings. Salem scenes. EJ might make a strategic hire as Leo keeps spying on the new free clinic. Leo arrives at the still under construction Tom Horton Free Clinic. Greg Ricard, the son of Days of Our Lives, and his handsome husband just made an incredible debut on the red carpet. We do know one thing about strolling the red carpet. It should be enjoyable and fashionable, of course. Most importantly, though, we want everyone who attends a major event like the Daytime Emmy Awards to have fun and tell their loved ones about it. Fortunately, Greg Ricard of Days of Our Lives appears to have done just that. The three men looked amazing and elegant, and the actor and his husband, Robert Sudduth, took their son Montgomery along for the ride. However, Montgomery's clothing would be our favorite if we had to choose one. Not only is a skeleton tuxedo shirt stylish, it's also entertaining. To be honest, we would also wear one more frequently if we could get away with it. Seeing things through our children's eyes makes everything more exciting and novel, especially when it's something they're experiencing for the first time. See the Emmys through Ricard's and his family's eyes by scrolling through his pictures below. For even more Emmy fun, Leo's actor posted another picture of himself partying with his family from Days of Our Lives and The Young and the Restless, as well as his buddy and co-host from Soapy, Rebecca Budig of The Bold, and The Beautiful. He wrote, "I love being a part of Team Days of Our Lives. I loved seeing so many friends and watching my Zandy take home his statue." As you go through the pictures, you can also see Ricard and the rest of the Salem crew's response to Telfer's victory. In case you missed it, we assure you that they were all thrilled. We understand how devastated Leo is by the prospect of losing to Zorro, but if he has the capacity to be even half the father Ricard is, we encourage him to try. Days of Our Lives. Sarah talks to Marlena while Xander questions Philip, Abe, and Paulina's altercation. Days October 21st, 2025. Spoilers. Fans can anticipate Abe and Paulina fighting, Sarah consulting Marlena, and Xander interrogating Philip. Sarah confronted EJ in the previous episode of Days of Our Lives. However, after being revealed, Sophia ran away, so Steve and Brady looked around for her. While the search for Sophia continued, Johnny and Chanel were left in the dark. Finally, Javi and Leo were concerned about Tesoro. Soon, the drama, the secrets, the interrogation, the disclosures, the conflicts, and more will heat up. When viewers log into Peacock to stream the popular daytime drama set in Salem, Illinois, on October 21st, 2025, they can anticipate the following episode of Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Days of Our Lives, October 21st, 2025. Gabi and Theo come to an understanding in Tuesday's episode. If Gabi could uncover information about Xander and Philip that would enable Tony to regain control of the business, he would give her the CEO role. She performed her duties, but Tony broke his word and let Theo take over as CEO. Gabi felt deceived and furious. However, it appears like everything has come together now. Gabi has made sure she gets what she wants. Even if Theo is the CEO, that was her intention, and she now has complete control over her fashion brand, Gabi Chic. It's sufficient even though it's not the CEO role. With Theo leading the business, she can make things work as long as she maintains control over her organization. However, Philip is questioned by Xander. Is Sarah involved, or does this have something to do with them and their Titan job? How is Philip going to answer his brother Xander's questions? Sarah confers with Marlena in the interim. Does this have to do with Sophia, who was discovered and then broke down knowing she was being seen by everyone. Will there be any assistance from Marlena? Will EJ's attempts to win Belle over be successful given the wreckage his decisions caused in their relationship? EJ is trying to make amends with Belle because he understands he made a mistake. Will she, however, disregard him once more and deny him another chance? Or is she going to melt this time? Finally, a confrontation between Paulina and Abe occurs. The two have frequently been in agreement and in agreement. Not this time, though. The pair is at odds over Theo's appointment as DiMera Enterprises' new CEO. Abe is utterly unhappy with this, while Paulina is being encouraging and pleased for Theo. And the pair has had some conflict as a result of this. How are they going to handle this conflict? Spoilers for Days of Our Lives. Leo meets Rita, and will EJ hire Mark? The October 22nd, 2025 episodes hint at thoughtful meetings and cunning snooping. Leo encounters Rita in the newly constructed clinic. Mark, Kat's brother, who was just released from prison, meets with EJ. What's in that envelope? Rita? Salem scenes. EJ might make a strategic hire as Leo keeps spying on the new free clinic. Days of Our Lives, Season 60. A father's unachievable decision, a son's betrayal. In the historic 60th season of Days of Our Lives, the DiMera family is in danger of disintegrating. Thomas, Chad DiMera's own son, gives him a heartbreaking ultimatum that destroys his newfound chance at love. Thomas is haunted by the memories of his mother, Abigail, and finds it impossible to forgive Kat Green, his father's new partner, for her previous dishonesty. This movie examines Chad's difficult choice, the DiMera brothers' unexpected collaboration, and the controversial mentor's intervention that has the potential to either bring the family together or destroy them forever. Chad DiMera is being surrounded by the walls of the DiMera home. His son's welfare and his own opportunity at a future with Kat Green are the two most important things in his life, and he is caught between them. His little son Thomas, who is still in shock over the unexpected discovery that Kat once impersonated his late mother Abigail, is the cause of the chaos. For Thomas, this is a violation of his mother's memories, not just a new lover. Thomas has given his father an impossible choice, pick between him and Kat. This decision is the result of Thomas's sadness and a child's unwavering moral sense. Chad is emotionally broken, and the anguish and bewilderment on the tiny child's face have grown to be an almost insurmountable barrier to his happiness. This is not your average childish disobedience. Rather, it is a meaningful response from a boy who believes his family was duped by the same lady his father is currently seeing. EJ DiMera puts aside his often competitive personality to show his brother Chad unexpected kindness in a beautiful and uncommon instance of family togetherness. EJ shows true sympathy for Chad, recognizing that he is in a difficult situation and that his brother is in an impossible situation. Their relationship has undergone a dramatic change as a result of this sincere talk, demonstrating that the DiMera blood link can last beyond their commercial battles, particularly during difficult times. In the meantime, a distraught Thomas turns to an unexpected person for advice, Jeremy Horton, his new teacher. Salem's former bad boy, Jeremy, takes on the role of a mentor and tries to give the disturbed child advice on forgiveness and the potential for second chances. He gently encourages Thomas to think about the possibility that Kat's cruel behavior was motivated more by desperation than by malice. In order to give his father's relationship a shot, Jeremy hopes that his own background will influence Thomas's viewpoint just enough. But there are two sides to Jeremy's involvement. Others in Salem are gravely concerned about his own troubled past of criminal and abusive behavior. Can a fragile child be properly guided by someone with such a difficult past? This family issue is already having disastrous effects. Kat is devastated by Chad's decision to break up with her, and is dealing with the deep emotional anguish of a relationship ruined by uncontrollable events. The entire extended family is affected by the complicated web of bitter feelings that the entire incident has created. The DiMera family's ties will be put to the ultimate test as the drama progresses.